Hey, Bohemia with Bohemian Stars Notional Readings, and today we're going to do another one. We have 6 options here, and we're going to do a reading to see what do they think about your cultural differences. How do they see you through that lens? Opinions, pluses, minuses. What are they thinking over here? How are they troubleshooting it, or what do they love about it, etc. Whatever they want to say here in the cards that comes up. 6 piles. We have a wreath charm. We have a radish charm that kind of looks like a carrot. We have a dice here with different pizza ingredients, and it's on the sausage. We have another dice with the number 4 here, white dice, number 4. We have a little blue flower charm, and we have a dumbbell, like a weight charm here, okay? So go ahead and pick one of these piles or many of these piles for all the different people that you are considering and wondering what they're thinking, what's going through their head, and I will see you on your timestamp. All right, for those of you who chose number 1 here, I'm seeing 101 on the time stamp while we're filming this. We have the wreath here. Let's see, what does this person think about your cultural differences? We have the moon card here, full moon deities from the All-Weather Phenomena Oracle, and then we have the 7 of Cups. So this person definitely could look at a difference from a spiritual standpoint. They're thinking that we have different spiritualities, we have either completely different religions, or the way that you interpret a certain religion could be very different. They sense a different sense of like different spirits or energies that are around you than they're familiar with, for sure. They don't quite know what to do with that. I think they have a curiosity about it. We have a Scorpio card here. Scorpio is very curious about the occult, but Scorpio can be very particular about what energies they mess with and which ones they don't. So they could feel a strong need to be in alignment with their deity, with their spiritual beings that they connect with, and to really honor that and really be wondering, okay, like theoretically, like in fantasy, it's really cool to connect with you and it's fun to learn, or, I'm curious about it, but is that something that's actually like realistically something I can get into? Is that something that's allowed? They could definitely be trying to figure out, is this allowed for me for more than just as a theory to connect with you on a deeper level? Is it something that would pan out well? Really, they're focused on spiritual dynamics. Could they really kind of get behind what you do spiritually? Would you support what they do spiritually? Like where would that even take things moving forward? They really spend quite a bit of time, it seems, trying to think about this and figure it out. They could also have had some kind of dreams where they were, kind of seeing how energies interplay with your different kind of belief systems, or getting some kind of messages about things like that, about maybe the differences, or some kind of interplay of how their spiritual world is kind of speaking about what your spiritual world does, and kind of letting them know that there's a difference there in some capacity. And yeah, they don't seem like they have quite figured it out. They do seem like they're approaching it a little cautiously. There's an excitement that's there, but there's also the feeling like things could go very wrong. Potentially, if we get too much going on with our different spiritual beliefs, that we would, if we were to try to bring that to the table. So I don't see any like physically moving forward, steps forward in a real sense, that they would be like taking action on in the physical world. So be aware of that. If there does seem to be a closeness with this person, it could actually be that in truth there is a huge reservation that they actually have, because they seem to put this connection more as fantasy than reality. So for example, if this is a case where one of you has traveled to the other person's country, they might really like the romanticism of it all, and kind of the fantastic quality of you guys interacting, and even a bit of like, oh cool, soul connection, I just happened to meet this person, there must be a reason. But it doesn't mean that they would actually put deep value in the physical world in building a lasting friendship, business partnership, or romantic endeavor. It could be where they would say, well, for that, no, I would have to pick somebody who's more aligned with me and has the same spiritual beliefs as me in the way that I reference them. So again, even if you are from the same spirituality, technically, maybe your regions, your cultures, whatever, have very different interpretations of that, or you're from different sects of that, or something of that nature. Yeah. So I'd be very careful if you're trying to build something very physically solid with this person, because there's the vibe either if you do that, they'll be kind of emotionally and spiritually checked out of the connection, or if they are kind of emotionally open to you and spiritually curious, they still won't put their foot down and make a physical commitment about it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so they're trying to sort this out, and it's definitely in the hands of their gods, okay? So that's what I'm seeing for group one. Like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you again on another one. Bye. Group two, for those of you who chose the little radish, sometimes carrot, I guess. Let's go ahead and see, what does this person think about your cultural differences? We have thunder, loud and clear audience and sound. So they could just have a difficult time understanding you if you have a different dialect. All right, hey, it happens. They might be like, "What? What are you talking about?" Okay, I don't understand that northern accent or whatever it is. Okay, Five of Swords, miscommunication. Yeah, this pile feels like they really feel like there's some miscommunication that's here. They could feel like one or the other of you would have like a sibling or family member that would not approve or would not like this connection, because here we actually have poor Osset. Isis here is mourning over Osiris, and we have the culprit here, who just really try to sabotage that relationship, that connection. So they definitely see that people could be against it. It could be a fight you can't quite win here, because you're kind of fighting against an ideal. You're fighting against group dynamics with this Aquarius card. Aquarius does like different unique relationships, but with the Five of Swords, we're seeing, not everything that's different and unique kind of flows together. So here they feel like, they would never hear the end of it potentially with your guys' connection. Either you would always have to hear about how they weren't like a proper pick, they weren't a right fit, or they would always have to hear it. Things can get a bit clannish, a bit groupish. People could feel like, according to their morals or rules or safety dynamics or whatever it is, that they're just on guard and defensive. But there could be a huge misunderstanding just with linguistics over here. They definitely are focused on miscommunication. Maybe they don't like if you can't speak their language, or they feel like you get upset when they don't speak your language, or it's just hard to understand each other because of your reference points. Even if you both speak, let's say, a version of English, there still can be a lot of differences in, like, let's say, British English and American English, and just your mind frame, how language shapes your mind, and how you understand and perceive things differently when you come from different parts of the world and different cultures and different backgrounds. And so here for this person, this seems to clash for them. It seems like they don't feel like you get it, and it bothers them. They do remind me a bit of like a Taurus moon, or someone that has a lot of Taurus or Cancer house placements or something. Those signs can very easily get frustrated when somebody doesn't understand just the way that they've been taught is the way to like talk or be or whatever. Like, if you mispronounce something that is their regional dialect, they can be like, very overwhelmed and quickly just like want to date someone from their hometown. So this person can have some of that kind of impatience, I would say, to them. They do have a frustrated energy. Like, why can't you just understand me? Like, why don't you just understand me like the person from back home does? So I could see they have an edginess to them. It's not a small thing. So for you, if you're like, well, that's exciting, I don't mind at all. I love having different accents. I love, having to sit and talk and see why someone thinks the way they do. And, for you, that might be, completely different. For them, it seems like it's very frustrating. They just feel like they have to spend so much time just explaining why they even said what they said. You don't get their jokes. You don't get, their reference points. You might misunderstand or misutilize maybe certain phrases or beliefs, or things like that. And I think they don't seem like a person that they really like that. They don't have to explain like, this is how we use slang, or this is what's sacred, or this is why we do and don't do these kind of things. They just don't find that pleasurable in an interaction. They find it more frustrating. At the same time, it's kind of strange because this person might have even approached you in some way, because I see that they also aren't content with everything being so samey, maybe. So it's kind of like maybe they had stepped outside of their own cultural dynamics for a friend or a business partner or a romantic connection because they felt things were too matchy. And so they're out here experimenting, but then they're feeling like they really don't like it. It's like, well, why are you away from home if you're going to be so miserable and grumpy with people who do it differently than you do? So I feel like, this person does need to check in with themselves about, how harsh they are. I think with people who are different, they do need to check in with finding some kind of balance internally for themselves as well. Maybe this is just the fact where people feel like they stepped out in a way that was a bit fetishizing or, just kind of exploitative or something of that nature. It wasn't about harmony and balance and commitment and, kind of true open heartedness. Maybe it was a bit more through rebellion, boredom, something of that nature. Okay. So, yeah, they feel like a lot is lost in communication for sure. And motives are obscure. And they definitely have a sharp tongue and don't want to be the loser in this situation. And they feel like somebody is going to be kind of put down. One group's going to win and they want it to be them, is the vibe. Okay. Really intense, this group. That's what I'm seeing. All right. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll talk to you again on another one. Bye. All right, for those of you who chose the sausage group, y'all funny. Um, let's go ahead. It could be vegan sausage, hey, whatever sausage you like. So let's go ahead and see. What does this person think about your cultural differences? This can be for any type of connection that you have, okay? So, snow, manifestation, and temperance reverse. So this person, it's interesting. On one side, this person feels like they're manifesting it. They feel like they would really, really want this connection. They really, really would want harmony here. At the same time, they could feel like there could be bigotry. They could, I mean, point blank with temperance reversed, that's like Sagittarius reversed, that's like negative Sagittarian ninth house Jupiter energy. So the positive side of those signs is literally inclusion, all cultures being able to authentically be themselves and share with respect and equality, right? No appropriation, no bigotries, no negativity. Reverse, this person could feel like there are things that they have to talk about that would be pointing out bigotries, that would be pointing out appropriation, that would be pointing out lines being crossed. They could feel like that would occur in this connection, and that could be very wearing on them. So I see that they want harmony. They want, all the beautiful snowflakes to flurry together, everything to be great. I don't use that in the derogatory sense. Can we reclaim the word snowflakes? Okay. Snowflakes are beautiful things. I'm not letting the negative people have anything in the world. Okay. They don't get to take a natural phenomenon and make it negative. But here it's like that vibe. Yeah. They want everybody to just be able to be themselves, be harmonious, like, manifest a good world. But they feel like here that there would be deep-seated bigotries they would have to talk about. And I don't think they would let it go. I can relate. I can relate to where this person's coming from. They're like, I can't pretend something's harmonious if it's not. If it's not, like, what am I going to do about it? So they feel like culturally you would have some things that were wrong, that were misconceptions. And not only that, but you could have strong beliefs or strong ways that you do things where maybe they're feeling microaggressed upon, kind of thing. They could be feeling, fetishized. They could be feeling disrespected. They could be feeling like you don't understand or care or respect their people's history, what they've gone through. They could feel like there's some kind of power imbalance in the dynamic, some privilege imbalance in the dynamic that's not being addressed. They could feel unsafe. I would say this person, they could feel unsafe, especially if they're a marginalized person and you are not in a certain degree. Okay, this person could feel like, are you actually like LGBT friendly? Do you actually are you actually, a strong ally, or better yet, an accomplice in like wanting to make sure that I am safe in the world? This person has questions and they're not sure if you really get where them and their people are coming from. There could be also strong linguistic barriers with this group. There could be strong philosophical differences where you're just truly inherently different. Like really, like maybe one of you is from like a very, very, very independent culture, and the other one is absolutely not from an independent culture. It's very, community based, and it's just like absolutes in some kind of way. So they feel like there are some strong, strong, very deep seated inherent differences in the way that you guys believe in things, your philosophies in the world, and they're not sure if those can coexist harmoniously. Yeah, that'd be something they'd be wondering about. But it could be that vibe too. Not everybody's good at like learning different languages and things like that. So it can be like, yeah, maybe I can like speak and like communicate with you, but I can't. Like, it's like if a poet is forced to talk in a language that they can't really get the hang of. Like, how could they? Like, it would be so limiting. Like, how can I ever articulate my soul to you? Like, I can speak poetry, run circles, and like transcend in my own language, but I can just have conversational, limited at that conversational communication with you. You know what I mean? So there could be things of that nature. It could also be a matter of like, here it could be where someone like literally if they look at your life and they see that you have like tattoos of their culture, or you have like relics of something that's sacred to their people in your home, and you've branded yourself based upon things from their culture, and there's just like not a respect. So this person feels like they could look and see things where they're misunderstood, or where there's not harmony, or where there's not even an attempt to like educate self and like know where we're coming from, or care about that, trying to heal, trying to have like some kind of alliance, trying to have a bridging point, trying to understand as more than just some kind of temporary trend. Yeah, this goes pretty hard, where they feel like this could be irreconcilable differences. For sure. Like it's not going to work for us to be besties, or it's just not going to work for us to be married, or something of that nature. It's possible for some of them that they feel like that's what I want. I just don't want this to work. I don't care. Like, I don't want to be harmonious with you. For others, I think they could be the one that's really trying to manifest like harmony in the world, and it would just devastate them to be in a close connection with somebody who doesn't really care to that level. People kind of care, they say they care, but when you have to actually live it out and find harmony day to day, and like stop doing the harmful things, unfortunately, most people don't care. Like, they don't want to be told that. They want to be told they can use whatever they want, talk however they want, and just be like, oh, cool, look, I'm multicultural. So for this person, I don't think it's casual whatsoever at all. Yeah, so it's a deal breaker with them. So depending on who you are, since it is collective, this person is going to be one or the other. They're either going to be someone who's really trying strongly to focus on this and manifest harmony and be willing to like decolonize and talk about those things, or for the other group, they're very strongly not going to be wanting to do emotional labor at all, and they're not going to let a connection form that has any depth or seriousness, or if it has, they could separate from the connection 100%. So it's going to be one or the other. You either going to actively seeing them care and trying to engage and understand each other and heal, and that's going to be very exhausting for both of you to try to mend this rift that inevitably just is not working, and come to a healing point if possible. Let's even pull some cards. Otherwise, they're just not going to do it. They're just going to clock like, I can already see where this is going. I'm not going to put myself in harm's way, and we're not going to do it. So yeah, I think it depends on how willing also you are to heal and to understand them. And it might be something that's very intense, something that takes a lot of investment to truly learn and understand each other, communicate well, things of that nature. Okay, that's what I'm seeing, y'all, for this pile. They're very intense. Like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you again another one. Bye. All right, y'all. For those who chose group 4, I'm sipping on water, but we got the tea here. Let's go ahead and see, what does this person think about your cultural differences and how you guys interact with that was reverse, it kind of flew. So this person feels like it's interesting. They're like, well, I wouldn't block you for it. I wouldn't ghost you for it. Like, it wouldn't be the devil card. So this person kind of feels like they stepped to the edge of a cliff where there was a line drawn in the sand, and they wouldn't cut you off. They wouldn't say that it's a horribly negative thing, but they also feel like maybe you guys are just slightly averting disaster. Okay, just like slightly averting it. They would never they wouldn't demonize you for your cultural differences, but it's noted, it's in the conversation. So it's almost like, yeah, I know my people maybe can't stand you, or yeah, I know like this could be an issue, but I wouldn't do that. It's kind of the vibe. So it's definitely an elephant in the room, the cultural differences that you guys have. It's definitely something that's like noted, it's different, probably, highly demonized, not really approved kind of situation, but they feel like they would not be toxic. They wouldn't, and they feel like almost it could be this too, where they are like, oh well, like I've met them and they're cool. Like they weren't, so it's almost like probably they've had some kind of feedback from others or whatever, not to interact with you or people, of your demographic or something of that nature. So then it's kind of like, well, I hung out with them and they were cool. They were nice. They weren't scary at all. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like they take it as disproving theories. They see it as disproving like some kind of propaganda or something. They feel like you didn't exhibit like the negative or whatever that others did. So they feel like besides, despite what they were told, they still came forward to connect with you anyways, to let you show who you are as an individual. And they feel like so far, like you haven't given them directly a reason to like block you or, you know, run away or something like that, or feel like, oh my gosh, you're a scary monster or something, right? But it's just interesting, the terms and the kind of the way that they describe this. It does kind of still feel like they're on some kind of alert, or maybe they feel like to others, maybe you have exhibited some kind of stereotypes or something like that. So for them, they're like, well, I'm good with you. Like, I'm good with you. You haven't crossed the line with me, is kind of the vibe that I feel. Like, you haven't crossed the line to me that I would cut you off. You haven't crossed the line to me yet that I would say, yeah, like, I don't know, like, oh, you're a monster and you crossed the line or something. You did something horribly wrong. Like, that I haven't written you off is the vibe. But then I'm like, okay, but why are we talking about a line in the sand? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's definitely there. They're definitely, it's almost like they're open to new programming, but they got the old programming right there in case they need to slap it on. You know what I mean? So they're kind of walking this line of a devil's advocate. That's what it is. They feel like that's the thing. A lot of people who are like, oh, I'm an advocate. Well, really, they're kind of devil's advocate, meaning they still are aware of the other party being demonized in some kind of way. And they're just playing devil's advocate and walking on the wild side a little bit, but they could double back. You know what I mean? That's how this person is. Yeah. So you have to see. I think we're deserving of more grace than that, right? We want to have more harmony, love, and support than that. But this is the framework I see this person kind of operating it in. It is a sense of them kind of having to justify, I think, the connection a bit, having to say innocent until proven guilty. But again, why are we talking about being proven guilty? Did we do something wrong? Like, why is that even a thing on the table? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, they're a lot better than I think maybe others that you might experience and their demographic, who it seems that probably their demographic and yours, like they have some natural bigotries towards your demographic is what it feels like, or their cultural energy might have some natural looking down the nose of your cultural identity or something of that nature. So it's kind of like, does it seem better just because they don't give in to some of this stereotypes or something that others maybe of their background would? Does that really make them super better? I mean, I don't know. Y'all have to really decide. I'm just gonna read the cards, but I feel like that's something we have to get to here. It's like, okay, so you're not gonna straight up block me and ghost me or straight up demonize me, but it is on the table. Ugh, is that as nice as it first seems? I don't know. Yeah, so this is how, and this person could again feel like this is what you do to them. Like maybe they could feel a little token to you. They could feel like, okay, so I get through the gate, but ain't no one else like me getting through this gate. You'll approve me, but you ain't gonna sit down and talk to no one else like me. If you saw me on the street, you probably wouldn't, and you didn't know me, you wouldn't holler at me. You wouldn't welcome me to the table. So they could feel like that. Like I'm towing the line at any moment. You could, drop the other shoe on me, and I'm definitely here in a potential to be hired, but probably not hired review kind of state is how this person could feel. Yeah, they could feel like you give them a little grace individually to prove that they're different, but you don't have much hope for them. You're ready to snap at any moment if you really needed to, and that you don't think much about probably the background they come from is what they think. You think they're an exception to the rule is how they would perceive you viewing them. Okay. Whew, these are a little intense reads, but hey. So I just kept it to 2 cards, y'all. Hey, it is what it is. So this is what I'm seeing. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you again on another one. Bye. Hey, okay. For those of you who chose the Blue Flower Group, we're going through and seeing what do they think about your cultural differences, whatever those may be. Let's go ahead and see for this group. Yay, okay. Wonderful. So this person, I was like, there's got to be at least one pile who truly just appreciates it, okay? So we have, look, spoiler alert, but Dewbow here. So this is when the rainbows are made out of the dew. And here's on the spider web showing weaving and just, it says spectrum inclusion weaving here from the, I made it, what's it called? All Weather Phenomena Oracle. We also have Judgment here, but up here with Judgment we have a lotus. So this person feels like it could be a little ornery, a little tricky. We have the energy of spider and monkey, which are very much tricksters and a lot of folklore and folktale. But overall, so they feel like it could be like humorous. You guys could be mischievous with each other. You could be a little obnoxious and annoy each other sometimes because of your cultural identity. They could even find that funny. They could like to do things that just are like culturally obnoxious to each other. They could be a bit of a prankster, a jokester. I definitely get like a Sagittarius moon kind of energy here. Could be some Aquarius, some Aries. We got Scorpio here. But overall, they feel pretty playful. Yeah, we got a little Pisces, little kind of vibe. They feel pretty playful. They feel like it's a good thing. Their spirit really likes it. They feel like, why not? Like, this is what we should do. We should have like higher vibration. Everyone should be cool. I mean, they will still be a tough judge of things. Like, they'll let you know, I don't do that in my culture. Like, they could be, but they can joke. They can joke about things. They could be a little rough. They can give them some little zingers. They can give you some little zingers. Y'all could roast each other or something about your cultural differences and not have it be a problem. But I feel like there's true respect. This is not where we're pretending to be humorous, but we're being derogatory and bigoted to each other. In some cities, especially in major cities where you can't help but have certain groups of people clash with each other, sometimes in a negative way. The way of tolerating that and trying to just have peace is to like be where we kind of say slurs to each other, but we pretend we're joking, we pretend we're getting along. I don't mean it in that way. This is specifically showing higher vibrational. So this is where we can truly like laugh. We can laugh at the different sides of our family. We can laugh at our cultural differences. We can have fun. We can tease each other about different things and come from a really good heart, a really good place. We can allow each other to be different. We can allow ourselves to see how we can kind of interact and intermingle a little bit. There's a true inclusion, like to the soul here. It's like to our higher selves, we're good. We truly respect each other. We truly honor each other. We truly, really, can have namaste with each other. We can help each other grow spiritually. There is true growth and respect. We can also each help to honor the other's culture. We don't have to sit here, step on toes, not want to listen, not want to grow, disrespect each other's ceremonies or culture. No, this is where we can truly, champion each other. We truly care for the well-being of each other's people. We truly can have real harmony together. This would say this is coming from good motives. There's no like, oh, I'm just with you because of fetishism but I'm pretending, hey, let's pretend though that we're like, some very woke couple or whatever, but really it's the same old colorism, it's the same old colonization. No, that's not this group. This person feels like you guys have the ability to truly, be a harmonious, respectful, like bring anyone up in here, bring any psychologist up in here, and they're not going to see that I disrespect you on any level. Like, shoot, bring them up in here. Like, because this is Pluto, the psychologist, right? Like, no, I'm truly with you because I truly love and respect you as who you are as an individual and including your culture. And I'll continue to learn and grow how to respect and honor you and your culture more and more. And that's how they feel like you would approach them as well. So it's very beautiful energy for sure. Yeah, very, very beautiful energy. And I think here, again, if anything was wrong, they feel like they could be blunt with you. They could check you real quick and say, hey, don't get disrespectful, and this is why. And then you would know and you would adjust. You'd be, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I didn't know about that. I had no clue I was doing a taboo. Thank you so much for telling me. And you would truly adjust your energy and your vibration. And they feel like were they to make any mistake that they didn't know, you could snap on them real quick, or you could let them know, or you could confront them, and then they could make better judgment and understand and grow. But it's not like you're putting the responsibility on someone else to let you microaggress or to fix you or to do the emotional labor. No, it's just like, should there ever be anything that they didn't know, they feel like you guys would both be able to correct the other, and you would both be able to instantly learn because you would want your hearts to be in the right place. There would be no excuses, there would be no BS. It would be true healing. Okay, so yeah, really like this pile. Hey, we have number 10, number 20 here as well, so that could be significant. This is what I'm seeing for the blue flower group. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I'm also seeing 30-30 right now on the video, and I almost said 30 after I said 10 and 20. So 10, 20, 30, 30, 30. That's what we got. Maybe it's with zeros because that was a lot of zeros. Could be something with the number 0 as well. All right, talk to you again. Another one. Bye. All right, for those who chose last but not least, pile number 6 with the dumbbell weight here, let's go ahead and see what is going on for this pile. What do they think about you culturally? Spirit crew, space weather, and the Page of Pentacles. Wow, and I'm noticing here how there's like all of this energy going on here in the atmosphere. So they feel like you could come with really good vibrations to them. Yeah, definitely. They have the energy like they feel you coming before they even know that you're in the room kind of energy. I think since you guys have met, there's been some kind of impact that was there, some kind of energetic impact here. They feel like your spirit crews want you to be harmonious to each other. There's spiritual awareness and guidance and growth that you guys are meant to do. They would feel like you guys are in each other's life to be true support to each other, to have good diplomacy, actual diplomacy and exchange, to come to each other's aid. They would sense that they would need to invest in your life. They would sense that you guys need to truly represent for each other, that's not a question. And that's how they feel like when it comes to your guys' cultural dynamics, that like you're going to be a student of their culture, you're going to learn how to represent and honor and even like financially support or invest into their community. They feel like the same for them. They want to bring something to the table. They feel like there's something very magical. I think it does catch them a little off guard too in some ways. They're very curious and they are still teachable and open. At the same time, there is the sense of being a little bit stuck in one's ways here with the Pentacles. They feel like you guys mirror each other a lot. So there's this vibe of, we have a lot to teach each other. We were definitely brought into each other's path for a reason. We should have harmonious energy with each other. There's the potentiality that whatever goes down with us can have a bigger impact maybe on maybe how each other treats others moving forward or what goes on in our next life. They have some kind of sense of things like that. They do feel like you are a compassionate person, that although you might be a little bit clueless about their culture, really, maybe you really, really don't have a clue about their culture, you really know a lot more about yours. At the same time, they feel like you're a quick study. You're somebody who, after they evaluate you, they do see that, okay, yeah, you are like your culture, how I thought, but you're teachable. You're not stubborn and fixed. You're still growing. You're still open. You're somebody who can be cautious and careful and caring with somebody else's culture as well as you're learning. you're somebody who could be a good investment, and you'll also invest time and effort into others. They can see you as somebody who likes to give gifts, or you like to maybe, like, for example, like, you could be the kind of person who, if they're away from home, you could be like, wow, they probably miss their home cooking or something. So you'll want to prepare them food, or you'll want to take them somewhere where they can see something about their culture if they're away from their home. So they think about things like that. They feel like you are someone who you demonstrate care in a physical way. You show up for people. You don't just give lip service that you care about them or their culture, but you'll physically show up to comfort them, to try to learn something. So they might, if you try to physically learn in a respectful way, with their culture, like, oh, this is the dance that, if you come to my wedding, you should do this dance that my people do. And they're like, oh my goodness. So they could see you as somebody who you would really try to join in. You wouldn't be too embarrassed or kind of uppity or something, but you would really try to join into the energy of the moment. They like that you live in the moment in a way. There's like a lot of energy around you. They feel like the support of your spiritual energy, your aura around you. So they feel like you would be like, okay, like, I have no clue. You're like, man, I'm from Minnesota. I have no clue about what y'all doing over here in this part of the world, but hey, it's the vibe tonight. Let me learn, right? Let me learn how you guys, play this game that's going to embarrass me right here, and try to learn and catch up. So they feel like overall you're kind, you're genuine, you're resourceful. So maybe you respect, that could be a thing. They could feel like you respect their resources, or what people would call resources, like you would respect their homeland, you would respect. So some of you, maybe you live in their area now or something like that. So you might have to like vote or make decisions with your products and your goods and things like that, to show respect to how that affects their country, their homeland, or their people, or something like that. So this person feels like you would vote in their favor. They feel like you would try your best to be harmonious and respectful to like the animals and the land where they're from. And again, they're saying still learning. So it's not that you're getting it perfect, but they do see that you would genuinely try. They also feel like, were they to have children with you, if that would apply in this case, that you would know that, like, these children need to know where they come from. They need to know who they really are. They need to have connection to that. They need to have respect to that. And that is very, very important and non-negotiable. So overall, I think this person's realistic. I don't think that they're just putting some, rosy glasses on, but I do think that this person senses great potential in you. They do realize it can be a slow and steady process, and maybe both of you can be stubborn and just kind of a little bit tunnel vision, and just kind of knowing what you know. Like, I just know how I was raised. I don't know how everyone else was raised, but they do feel like there's something magical and curious and innocent and very loyal, that we can continue to learn, and we can come together with respect and commitment with each other. And that could be something that could be very beautiful. There's strong Capricorn energy here for sure. Yeah, and they feel like your spirit crews like each other, so they could feel like they got a go ahead, some kind of sign of support or something from someone in spirit that was important to them, or one of their guides, or one of their traditional deities, or whoever in their spirit crew. Yeah, and they feel confident too that if you were to ask your spiritual forces, that you would see that they have good intentions. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Oh, I just saw 3737, which is number 10. We also have 13 here, which is 4. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you again on another one. Bye.